One of the things I want to share with you on this video is that if you're out there and if you've got goals and dreams, so often in our lives, when we have goals and dreams, we set them, and then the first thing that we do is we write an action list, right? And that's a smart strategy, right? We write an action list of what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, and what we achieve. Thank you so much. We write an action list of what we want to accomplish and achieve, then we sort of break that down into smaller bite-sized pieces, and then we start to work on the what, the action points, the ideas. And if you've read some stuff from Simon Sinek or other people, you might start with your why, about why do you want to accomplish and achieve. Yeah, thank you so much. You might start by looking at why you want to accomplish or achieve something, and that's really valuable as well to get that motivating factor. We're looking at a lot of stuff recently from Michael Hyatt's work, and Michael talks a lot about the idea of what's your key motivators for each particular course of action, and that's very important. But what a lot of people miss in this process is they look at what they're meant to do, and they're not looking at who they need to reach out to. And one of the things that I've found, particularly when you look at it from a sales standpoint, is that every goal that you set from a sales standpoint is intrinsically linked to who. And when you're in a sales mindset, you're always thinking about, well, who is going to purchase my program, my product, my course, my idea to help me move the financial goal forward. And it's easy to think about that because sales is all about relationships. It's about building individual relationships with individual people. So to give you an example, we've just had an incredible wedding in the Maldives, and as I was putting together the budgets and as I was putting together the plans in terms of how to be able to afford that experience, I was never just writing numbers on a spreadsheet or numbers on a whiteboard. I was always writing a list of relationships that I wanted to nurture, to potentially support and serve and guide, because I knew that if I supported the relationship, then the money would support itself, right, as part of that exchange. And so it's easy when you're in a sales mindset to consider, or who are my people that I want to build that relationship with, or if you want to use cruder language, who are my targets, right? It's often much harder in other goals, i.e. your health and fitness goals, i.e. your relationship goals, i.e. your spiritual goals. It's much harder oftentimes when we think about the other areas of our life to consider the who as opposed to the what. Everyone knows that you have to go to the gym, but what we don't often consider is who's going to be our personal trainer. Everyone knows that we should spend time in meditation, but we don't necessarily consider who's going to be our guide or our teacher, or who's going to take us through our guided meditations, or who's going to be our transcendental meditation teacher or educator, right? And so oftentimes we make the mistake of considering the what we have to do. And the reason why is because we assume that our best thinking of the moment is good enough to accomplish a goal that we ourselves are not good enough yet to achieve. I'm just going to repeat that because it's really significant. And that is that we assume that our best thinking at this moment is strong enough and good enough for us to achieve a goal that we ourselves have not yet achieved, therefore meaning we're not yet good enough to solve. And so, I remember a quote I use often in our events, and I'd love to invite you to come along to one of them as well. That's selfmasteryevent.com. But in the event, I talk about a quote from Will Smith, and Will shared to his son Jaden. He says, "Jaden, there's not a single problem you'll ever deal with in your life that someone hasn't already solved and written a book about." So when we consider that in our own lives, why would you spend any time writing your own what list of what am I meant to be doing? My process is very, very different. What I'll start by doing is I'll get clear, number one, on what do I want to accomplish and achieve. Number two, I'll get super, super clear. I'll spend probably 80% of my time getting clear on the intrinsic and extrinsic motivators, the why. Because I know if I've got a strong enough why, I'll overcome any objections and any struggles. And then immediately, before I look at what do I have to do, I consider who. Who has already solved this problem before, because that's the fastest way to turn decades into days. I'll go and reach out to Dan or Karim or Simon or Kim, and I'll go and speak to these friends in our life, or speak to Ash, and I'll look at what do we need to accomplish and achieve, but I'll do that in unison, I'll do that in collaboration, I'll do that in cooperation from people that have already been there and done it before. Sam Walton, who created the very famous stores Walmart, who's no longer alive with us today, but he said he'd never had an original idea in his life. He said, "I've spent more time in my competitors' stores than I do on my own." And you don't have to be in competition, but you can be in cooperation with mentors and guides and supporters, both physically and even spiritually. So my core message to you is, if you want to achieve more in life, you need to surround yourself and learn from and model and ask the questions of the what to people that have already accomplished what you want to do. It's much easier to repeat a recipe from a Jamie Oliver or a Gordon Ramsay than it is to try and recreate it yourself. And many times we think that our best thinking of the moment is strong enough, and it's simply not. And you can still get there on your own. Don't get me wrong. I've got no doubt if you're taking the time to watch this and you're still with me, by the way, congratulations, thank you. And if you are still watching this, I've got no doubt you're persistent enough at the very least to make it. The question is, why would you want to make it harder than it needs to be? Life is hard enough. And if you're accomplishing big things that are meaningful and give our lives value, then they're going to require everything that you've got and more. Life is a full contact team sport, and cooperation as well as competition is absolutely essential. So, to refresh, and by the way, I'm going to go deep into this in our intro nights and also our one-day events. And of course, I spent 3 days on this very topic, looking at how do you accelerate your own achievement, your human potential? How do you reach for more in your life? And if you want more, then this would be a wonderful opportunity to go to www.selfmasteryevent.com. And we'll put up a link and a video link and that sort of stuff here for you. But go to that and come and see us live. But the premise is, if you want to achieve more, get clear on what you want to do, then get super clear on why it is that you want to accomplish it, and then go and find somebody that's already done it before and ask them what they did, and then just copy it. You know, the good artists copy, great artists steal, and stupid people reinvent the wheel. So, wishing you guys well, lots of love, good luck, and God bless. I will see you from somewhere magical. And here I am in Uluwatu on the cliff edges. You can really get an understanding of why they thought the earth was flat all those years ago. Just want to wish you well. Be bold, have fun, make an impact in people's lives, and I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, on the wild side. That link again is www.selfmasteryevent.com, and I will hopefully see you somewhere in this beautiful country across New Zealand as well, and wishing you all the very best.